Hey, Marissa. Hey, it's 9 minutes. I'm looking at the wrong clock. We need to go on whenever we can. All right, we'll go on.
All right.
Yep.
Yeah,
right
that'll work.
You done?
Yeah.
Hey, there's nobody behind us here.
Do you have the second half sheet somewhere?
This is the whole game here.
Yeah, here it is.
Welcome, everybody, to Gross Coliseum here in Hays, Kansas, where today the Indians try to finish the game out here at Hays and become the 1A Division state champions here, Mike, against Hanover Wildcats.
Yep, history in the making here tonight for St. Paul. First time the Lady Indians or any St. Paul Indian basketball team has had a chance to play for the state championship. I know the girls are excited to be here. The town's excited to be here. Had a big turnout come out for the weekend and helping to support the girls. I know they appreciate it, and it's going to be a big night for everybody, and it's one of those things that it's a once-in-a-lifetime deal for a lot of these girls, and especially the seniors, to go out here with a chance to get a state championship is really something special for them.
Hanover comes in with a 21-3 record, getting their way here over a first-round win over Frankfurt. It was a close ball game, and then again last night Hanover upset the number 1 seed 23-0 Coldwater South Central to move themselves into the championship game here today. So I know it was a couple good games. Frankfurt and Coldwater both led them games at some point in time, but Hanover, a very, very good ball team, play in a tough conference and a hard non-conference game. So the Indians also the same way come in here at now 23-2. They made their way here by a first-round win over the 7th seed St. John Hudson. That was a tough ball game for the Indians, but they fought their way through it, come out with a victory, and played much, much better last night against Kensington. Kensington came in as a number 3 seed at 21-2, same record as St. Paul. St. Paul had won the coin toss to be seated above them. They won 42-34 last night in a lot better shooting performance. At 7 for 16 from three-point land, 43%. That was really the difference in the ball game last night. Moved their way into the state championship game here against the Hanover Wildcats.
Yeah, they had a lot of trouble on Thursday night, the first night here, and I think some of it was state championship and tournament jitters and being here in this big arena, kind of getting used to the feel for playing in the bigger auditorium here with the baskets kind of hanging out there, and a lot of adjustments to be made, and they really, the truth is they didn't adjust very well, especially only scoring 2 points in the first quarter, and they also only scored 2 points in the third quarter. So basically half a ball game, they only scored four points, but still were able to come out with the win, and that really says a lot for the way that they're able to bounce back. When they've got some adversity that they're facing, they're still able to keep their heads in the game and come out with a victory, and then they turn things completely around and really looked good when they got on the floor last night, started making some of those shots that they couldn't get to fall the first night, and really you could tell after that first quarter, Sydney Rice made a buzzer-beating shot to end the first quarter with a three-pointer, and that was like flipping a switch, and the ladies were able to really, fall into their game then, make some shots fall, and just played a lot more relaxed basketball and just looked a lot better overall, came out with a good win.
Hanover is going to be a little bit different look here tonight. Indians has faced St. John Hudson and Kissington. Both played a zone. St. John Hudson played a 3-2 zone. Kissington started in a 2-3 zone, and then they moved to a diamond and one and put that's a box and one on Caitlin O'Brien and really stymied her. But the big factor last night was Sydney Rice really stepped up to the plate, poured in 18 points for the Indians last night. So that was the senior leadership that really stepped forward. Hanover is going to play a man-to-man defense. At least they did in the first two games. Unless they change things up here tonight, we'll have to see when they start the game, see how the Indians can match up against that man-to-man, Mike.
Yeah, and that man-to-man will be something that they're notorious for running themselves, had a lot of success with, and they'll see how they can play against it. The other thing we'll watch is to see how they move the ball up the floor when they bring it in the length of the court. It seemed like last night, the first half, they were a little bit slow getting the ball pushed down the court, a little bit tentative, trying to look over the defense and not getting it across the half-court line as quickly as Coach Tuck was wanting them to do. So we'll look for them to really be a little more aggressive at pushing the ball down the floor, especially as the game gets started.
Coach Tuck on 30 years of coaching in St. Paul High School. First time he ever had a girls' team state championship game. This is their 7th attempt at it. I mean, at the state playoffs, first attempt ever at a state championship. So I'm not going to say it's unexpected, but the girls has kind of been up and down all year long.
Yeah.
They've had good games, they've had bad games. They've always been competitive in every ball game they've played. So hopefully the girls can come out hot tonight and be settled in. It really has to help to be on your third game out here at Hayes, playing on a different court, same rim, Mike.
Yeah, I know they're getting more comfortable the more they're out here, and they've been here 3 days now, had some walkthrough practices, a couple of games, one where they were cold and one where they got warmed up and a little hotter, so they're getting some more confidence every time they step onto this floor.
Hanover with a little deeper roster. We'll see how back-to-back days of plays on both teams. Hanover had the first game last night. St. Paul played in the 6:30 game last night, so a little later start. Not quite as much rest, but we'll see how it affects them. Indians bench just a little bit shorter. Indians gotten a little bit of foul trouble last night in that first half. Coach Tuck really had to rely on his subs and do a lot of in and out and personnel changes to keep everybody out of foul trouble getting into that second half.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how those adjustments really have an effect on the offensive game, especially.
You're listening to the Richie's Pharmacy pregame show. Dan been alongside Mike McCracken. Marissa back on the board in the studio. We really appreciate that. Our title sponsors, Farmers Bank. Just like always, it'll be the last time this year we get to take care of our sponsors here. Mike, we're going to take a 1-minute timeout before tip-off. We'll be back after that 1-minute timeout. Let's St. Paul basketball on Hot 105. Hey, Marissa, you will have to text Mike if something happens because I'm using my phone, okay? All right, thanks. I thought that was you.
Huh?
Sportscaster of the year.
I think that was you. Welcome back as they give an awards presentation before the game. There's 8 minutes on the clock, so we'll get set for starting lineups here in just a second. St. Paul in the state championship game versus Hanover Wildcats.
They both come in with almost identical records. Hanover with 3 losses, the Indians with 2 on the year. It'll be a very tough matchup for the Indian girls. We'll see if they can come out and play well here today.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough matchup, but it should be a really good game. Both these are good teams, and they've earned their way into this final game, and it'll be interesting to see how they can both produce here, especially early on.
I want to recognize all the girls that's on the roster for the Indians. You've heard a lot of them all year long. They've all got playing time, so I'm sure you know, as they get set to go over the total lineups in this championship game. Championship Saturday, the first time we've had the honor of doing this, Mike. First time the Indian girls or boys has ever been here, so it's a rare opportunity for us.
Yeah, and it's really nice.
Not just one, Mike. We got to do it twice.
That's what I was just getting ready to say. It's not only fun to do it once, but second time this school year we've got to do it for football with the boys, and now here we are with the girls. Couldn't be happier to be right in the middle of it, to tell you the truth.
Couldn't be more proud of the girls and the boys and their student athletes, not just good on the athletics. That's not just when it always counts, but they're also great students and great parts of our community, and we couldn't be any more proud of them than their parents are.
That's right.
As we get set, as they introduce both teams, as we said earlier, we look for Hanover to come out in a man-to-man. They are well-rounded, pretty deep on the bench, so we'll see how the Indians can come out. Not being here, you hope they play loose after yesterday's win. I mean, they really have nothing to lose. Hanover's the defending state champs, Mike. I don't know if I mentioned that yet or not. Coldwater, they was on the same size of bracket as Coldwater. Coldwater come in undefeated and favorite in this, and Hanover took care of St. John, I may have said that wrong earlier, took care of Frankfort, in the first round game. It was a back and forth game. Frankfort had Hanover down 6 points with 2 minutes left to go in the game. Hanover come back and won that ball game. And then, we're going to take a break for the national anthem. Welcome back to Fort Hays State Gross Coliseum, as that was the Otis Bison. That's kind of nice, Mike, have a choir from the same division sing the national anthem.
Yeah.
Did an excellent job of it.
Really nice job.
Small sports, folks, you don't get a chance to sit in on a deal like this very often. And not only, I know you have relation playing in Andale, you take Gimbo 3A, and it's really special. The crowd, the stands are full. Of course, Hanover's full because their boys are also playing for the state championship.
They've got all kinds of
St. Paul has a great contingency sitting right behind us, so you're going to hear them cheer every time as we go through. Mr. Turlip's out there. Everybody gets recognized.
Yeah,
Principal Bagshaw,
Superintendent
Dr. Bobby Williams, Emily Hutcherson, number 14, just a sophomore. Look for her to be a big part to step up next year. Ireland Foley, the young freshman, and Katie Carter, who's really lost some, maybe not very minutes, but some good time on the court out here at Hayes, showed no fear at all. Katie Coombs, the junior. And now we get up to the starters. I believe they're maybe go over Hanover first, and then we'll go over starting lineup. So we'll go ahead and thank everybody for listening to our Richie's Pharmacy pregame show as they finish things up on the starting lineups. We'll get starting lineups here in just a second as they finish going over everything.
We didn't get a schedule, so we're kind of winging it with them as they do these starting lineups.
When we do our best work anyway. Well, thank everybody for joining us on the live stream. If you want to get on the live stream, listen to the audio only. We don't have the rights to the video stream, so but it's going to be on the same way. You get on the same way. You just go to hot1055.net, click on the St. Paul Indian banner. It should take you to YouTube.
That's right. The YouTube feed should be up and running. You won't see a video, but you'll be able to hear the audio. So.
And Mike, did you change your name, Mike?
Yep, I got it changed.
So it should be
hopefully
in there
it says
Hanover
versus Hanover.
It should say live stream on it. Just click on that live stream and you'll have the audio. So it should be good to go. All right, here we go. Start lineup for each team. It's hard to hear anything with this headset on.
Yeah, getting pretty loud in here. They got big time, got the music playing. It's exciting for the girls, though. It's a lot of fun. There's Taylor Watrick.
I'm ready to go in. Number 11, Taylor Watrick, the young junior or sophomore, gets a start for the Indians. For Hanover, McKenna Juniman, the 5'5" sophomore, gets a start. Junior Sydney McCracken gets a start for the Lady Indians. And for Hanover, number 5, Tiana Lucy, another sophomore, 5'9" sophomore, gets a start. Sydney Rice coming off a great game last night. One of the senior leaders for the Indians. Couldn't be more fun to watch.
Yeah, she really had a big night last night. Came around a little cold on Thursday like the rest of the girls.
Next for Hanover, number 20, Doble. At 5'11" junior, she's a real good ball player, Mike. We're going to call her number a lot. The Indians are going to have to contain her. So
yeah.
Hanover's pretty young on the court so far. Our next starter for the Lady Indians is Caitlin O'Brien, coming off 16-point game last night. Another big senior leader for the Indians. And number 30, Taylor Clipp, gets a start for Hanover. One of the seniors, 7-foot senior for the Indians. Our last starter is senior Emily Winter. As they get set together around the coaches and get set to get the tip-off to our Styles Fitness More tip-off of this ball game.
Yeah, Caitlin O'Brien comes into the night with 1,022 points. She had 6 on the first night out here at Hayes and 16 last night. Finished the regular season at home at Sub-State with 1,000 even. So 1,022 points for Caitlin on the season. She'll look to build on that. She's going to have to be a big part of this St. Paul offense tonight as they get started here.
We want to thank everybody for making the trip out here, supporting the girls, and everybody listening at home. Those of you who couldn't make it, I hope you enjoy the game as much as we're going to, win or lose. And, of course, we want a W. One of the starters is Zarbanicki for Hanover that I missed, a 5'7" senior. 2 sophomores, a junior, and 2 seniors on the floor for Hanover. Caitlin O'Brien controls the tip back to Emily Winter. She feeds it off to Rice. The Indians win the tip, and they start with the basketball. Rice with the basketball. Hanover comes out in the man-to-man. Sydney McCracken with it. Hands all over. Feeds it off to Caitlin O'Brien. She's going to be guarded by number 20, Doble. Winter with the ball, feeds it back to McCracken. McCracken holds it to the left wing, feeds it back up top to Taylor Watrick. The Indians run through their motion offense. Watrick in the lane, layup up, no good, but she's fouled, and she's going to shoot 2. So right off the bat, Taylor Watrick gets to go to the line to shoot 2. That foul is on number 1, or
on 2, Juniman.
Number 2, Juniman, her first, team foul number 1. Scoreboard is right underneath that basketball rim, Mike.
I'll have to help you, I can see it.
Watrick's first free throw is right through there. It's a good start for the Lady Indians. They take a 1-0 lead as Juniman picks up her first team foul.
Good to see Taylor driving the lane there.
Second free throw gets the roll, goes in. St. Paul hustles back on defense. They'll go into their man-to-man defense. Up at the top, Doble drives into the lane, pulls up for a jump shot right through there, so she hits on their very first shot. Now full court press, man-to-man press. Watrick holds the basketball. She's guarded by Juniman. She walks the ball up as Juniman backs off into the man-to-man. Watrick with the basketball in her hand, crosses over, drives free throw line, out to O'Brien. Long three-point shot. Ooh, off the rim, no good, close. Watrick chases it down. Watrick feeds it to McCracken. She feeds it back up top to Winter. Winter holds the ball overhead, now dribbles towards the lane, elbow. Now she pulls up, backdoor cut by O'Brien. Ball's on the floor, no good on the shot, no call, couldn't get the foul called. Number 5 with the rebound is Losey. Losey into the lane, pull-up shot is good. Right to the rim she went. So Hanover takes a 4-2 lead over the Indians. Indians with good looks at the basket. Wattrick right back down with the basketball against Judeman all the way in, and she's going to be fouled. And that's going to be a second foul on Juneman. Team foul number 2. Wattrick being aggressive as number 4 checks into the game, Bruna. And there's going to be a lot of Brunas. There's 4 Brunas on, and that is a name notorious with Hanover. O'Brien with the basketball gets it swatted out of her hands. Rice chases it down. Now Bruna is on O'Brien. That's a good matchup for the Indians. She has a height advantage. She needs to go after her. Spins right in the lane. She goes. Shot up off the backboard. No good. No foul called. Feed ahead to Doble. Now Wattrick with the steal. Wattrick pushes the ball up the floor. She crosses over. Euro step layup, no good.
Need to slow down on those a little bit.
Doble with the rebound for Hanover. Feeds it ahead. Shot up, no good. Rebound Rice. That shot put up by Clip. Rice back down with the basketball. Fast-paced game so far. Hanover leads 4-2. O'Brien holds on to the ball. Now she dribbles into the lane, wide open, Euro step, layup, good.
That's O'Brien's signature move there, that Euro step through the lane.
Doble right back down, feeds it ahead, back to Doble. Right wing, number 22, Zarbiniki. Now three-point shot on the way from the left wing, off, no good. Rice, boy, there's not easy names to pronounce, Mike.
No,
Rice with the rebound for the Indians, 4-4. It's tied at 4. Rice with the basketball as Coombs and Hutcherson comes in at the scores table right at the 5-minute mark. Wattrick, good ball fake, crosses over, feeds it out to Winter. Rice was open for the 3, now swatted from behind. Now Wattrick with it. She drives into the elbow again. Bounce pass into O'Brien. O'Brien spin move in front, shot up, no good, but she's fouled.
St. Paul got to get some more ball movement. They catch the ball and stop and let the defense get caught up with them before they're throwing it again.
Clip with the foul on O'Brien, her first, team foul number 3 on the Wildcats. O'Brien settles into the line to shoot 2. First shot on its way off the front of the rim, no good, as Hutcherson and Coombs comes in for McCracken and Winter. 4-4, tied at 4, 4:46 left to go here in the first. O'Brien settles in for her second. It's on its way and off, no good. Long rebound chased down by by Bruna. Rare 2 misses. Now Doble with the basketball. Lob inside, shot up, no good. Rebound, Coombs. Coombs bounce pass over to Rice. She pushes the ball up the floor against this man-to-man. All the way in, kicks it out, and they're going to call a charge.
Yeah, Rice going to have to go in under better control than that.
Yeah, but I thought Doble slipped in under. I didn't think she was set. I think Doble got away with a
flop. Did she flop a little?
She might have got away with one there. Rice pushed the ball down hard. You got to like that. Kicked it out to Winter. Kicked it out to Coombs, I believe, but got caught for the charge. Doble with the basketball guarded by O'Brien. She drives towards the elbow. Thought about the 3. Kicks it over. Now ball poked away by Wattrick. Losey with the ball. Back to Doble. We're going to call Losey and Doble a lot here. Doble crosses over against O'Brien. Crosses over again. Feeds it out. Now ball swatted away. Ball's loose on the floor. And it's going to be a jump ball, and it's going to stay with Hanover because the Indians controlled the tip.
Indians doing a pretty good job playing aggressive defense.
Lob inside to Doble. Doble crosses over into the lane. She goes into traffic. Oh, man. That's a terrible call. Doble got tied up with the ball at her waist. And 2 Indians standing there straight up.
Called that on Caitlin O'Brien.
And that was on Caitlin O'Brien, and that was a gimme a call to Hanover. Lob inside back to Doble. Zarbiniki now. Doble, long 3-point shot, well short, goes out of bounds as that was way off. She was way outside the 3-point line. 4-4, still the score. 3:51 left to go here in the first. Rice with the basketball. She's guarded by Doble. Now all the way in, kicks it out to O'Brien. Sets her feet, three-point shot on the way. Off the rim, no good. And that's going to be a foul on Coombs. Third team foul on the Indians. First on Katie Coombs, going for the rebound. As everybody tries to get settled in on offense, is number 33, Heineck, comes in, a 5'10 junior for Hanover.
Emily Hutcherson in now for the Indians, too.
Emily Hutcherson in the ball game. Number 5, Lose feeds it. Now Doble down to baseline with it, guarded by O'Brien. She dribbles, feeds it back up top to Zarbenicki. Zarbenicki in the layup, good. Right around a couple Indians. Coach Tuck hollering for the rotation on the help defense. 6-4, Hanover up by 2 as Emily Winter comes back to scores tables for the Indians. Watrick with the basketball over her head, gives a couple ball fakes, feeds it off to Coombs. Coombs over to Hutcherson. Hutcherson at right wing holds the ball over her head. She's guarded by Zarbenicki. Now O'Brien to the elbow, feeds it to Watrick. Watrick into the lane, kicks it out to Coombs. She is wide open for a three. She passed. Now Coombs right in front of the rim. Shot no good. Rebound. Doble feet ahead. Layup, no good. Rice with the rebound. That layup put up by Losi. Rice crosses over. Layup good.
That was a good move.
Sydney Rice drives right in there and puts it up. Ties the score at 6. Losi with the basketball. Dribbles to the top of the key. Feeds it to Doble. Doble with the basketball. Hands it up. Nope. Drives the baseline. Shot up. Good. Got past O'Brien. She's going to be tough to handle. She's a good ball player. Caitlin and her's a good matchup. Watrick feeds it back to O'Brien. O'Brien crosses over, spins, pull up shot, no good. Rebound, Hanover. Losi with the basketball. Kicks it out. Now down to the corner to Doble. Three-point shot on the way, no good. Coombs with the rebound. She feeds it to Rice. Everybody a little cold from the outside here tonight. 8-6, Hanover up by 2. 1:34 left to go here in the first. I'd like to see Rice go right at Doble, try to get her in a little foul trouble. Coombs with the basketball, feeds it over to Caitlin O'Brien. She drives right past everybody, in for the Euro step layup. Ooh, almost went,
fall,
but she's going to go to the line to shoot 2. That's going to be on number 33, Mike Heineck, 5'10 junior. Team foul number 4.
First on Heineck.
First on her. O'Brien settles into the line to shoot 2. Shot on its way. Good. Right through there. 8-7. Hanover up by 1. Sydney McCracken checks into the ball game for Sydney Rice. Rice comes out of the game playing hard. Coach Stock hollers for everybody to match up, know who they got with subs into the game. Number 24 coming into the game, Bruna, another Bruna, as O'Brien makes her second free throw, ties the score at 8.
Winner's going to come in for Caitlin O'Brien. Give her a little bit of a break.
As everybody tries to pick their man up. Now Hutcherson has got the task of guarding Doble. She hands it off to Bruna. McCracken chip. And now they're going to call. What are they going to call? They're going to call timeout.
They're called injury timeout.
Bruna's a little bit, well, I'm not real sure.
It's got to be St. Paul basketball.
I think Hanover called a timeout.
Oh, did they? Okay.
30-second timeout. We'll stay here. 8-8 score. Hanover and St. Paul tied at 8. So good ball game here so far.
Well, it is a good ball game. I'm telling you what, both these teams here to play. St. Paul looks pretty relaxed. They're sticking with them, tied up here at 8. I think, that's one of the good things that we were worried about, maybe coming out here being a little tentative or nervous or whatever you want to call it, but doesn't seem to be the case. They're sticking right out there and look pretty comfortable.
I think both teams got what they want. I think both teams are the type of teams that like somebody to play a man-to-man on them.
Right.
I believe that the Indians play better against a man-to-man because they can spread the floor out, and with our quick guards, match up well with our quick guards, not afraid to go to the hole. Watrick, O'Brien, Rice, all of them been to the hole a few times, just can't quite get them to go, but the score's tied at 8. Doble still in the game, hasn't been out of the game yet. A lot of subs otherwise for Hanover. Doble crosses over against Hutcherson, pulls up in front of the rim. Shot up short, no good. Chased down by herself. Doble feeds it back up top. Ball comes loose for a second. Now back over to Doble. Fakes the three. Drives the baseline. Bounce pass inside. Ball's loose on the floor again. Jump ball. Possession arrow is going to go towards the Indians as Coombs dives on the floor. It's hard to keep up with all the subs.
Who was that? Losey? No, Clip had the ball on the floor, rolled over. They didn't get the travel call.
There's a third Bruna in the game now, Mike Lorne. So it's going to sound like Bruna to Bruna to Bruna here in just a minute. Watrick with the basketball. She's guarded by number 22, Zarbinicki. Watrick over to Hutcherson. Over to Coons at left wing. 8-8 is the score. Over to Hutcherson in the corner. Hutcherson dribbles back up to the guard position, picks up a dribble, bounce pass to Winter. Winter back outside. Coons, three-point shot. Off the rim, no good. Winter chases it down. Winter dribbles, cross-court pass to McCracken. Back up top to Hutcherson. Hutcherson, long three-point shot, no good. Should have stepped in a little bit. And that shot at the buzzer is the reason she put it up there. Long three-point shot, no good. 8-8 is the score after the first quarter. We'll be back after this 1 minute timeout. This is St. Paul basketball on Hot 105. Start of the second quarter. That timeout brought to you by St. Paul Supermarket. Hanover with the basketball down the corner. Doble. Doble's guarded by O'Brien. Pulls up, long three-point shot. Off the rim, no good. Rice with the rebound. Rice pushes the ball up the floor. Everybody pretty cold from three-point land here, Mike.
Doble's 0 for 3 from outside.
O'Brien all the way in. Pull-up shots well short. No call. That's going to be off of Coombs or Winter and go back to Hanover.
Yeah, shooting's been pretty cold on both teams, really. Only 8 points apiece in the first quarter.
Losey with the basketball for the Wildcats. She feeds it off to Zarbini, now to Doble at the corner. Now cross-court back up to Losey. Now back to Zarbinicki, over to Doble. Cross-court pass, up top to Losey. Lob inside to Doble, baseline. Now wide open three-point shot by Zarbinicki off the mark. Hutcherson with the rebound. She lets everybody clear. Bounce pass over to Rice as the Indians reset on offense. Tied at 8, 6:59. Coach Tuck hollers cross for an offensive play. Off to Hutcherson at right wing. Hutcherson way up towards the half court. Feeds it to McCracken. Reverses it over to Rice. Rice up to O'Brien. Sets her feet. Three-point shot. Good!
That's what they need. A little spark to get them going.
Caitlin O'Brien buries a three from the top of the key to give the Indians an 11-8 lead. Now over to guard Zarbinicki all the way in. She's bumped by O'Brien, and O'Brien just picked up her second foul, 15th foul on the Indians. And that's going to send number 22, Zarbinicki, to the line to shoot two. 6:31 left to go in the second. 11-8 Indians lead. Shot on its way off the back iron, no good by Zarbinicki. Mike, you take all the pictures you need to take, buddy. If I had a daughter playing, I would too. Misses her second. Indians with the rebound. 11-8. Indians up by 3. 6:28 left to go here in the second. O'Brien just picked up her second foul, so we're going to have to keep an eye on that. She crosses over all the way in. She's fouled. She's going to go to the line to shoot two. Caitlin O'Brien showing her quickness. Foul is up number 4, Emma Bruna. 15 foul. $15 foul on Hanover. Oh, that was on the floor. Inbounds pass. Rice, three-point shot from the corner. Ooh, off the back iron, just off. Good look at the basket. Indians still lead 11-8. Feed down to Losey. Losey into lane, gets it swatted away out of bounds. He looks for help, and it's going to stay with Hanover. Rice hit that. I don't know if it went all the way through the lane. I couldn't tell if it hit anybody else. So.
I think it was a guess, but that's okay.
It's a logical guess. Because Rice was the one that slapped it out of her hands, and it could have been a foul on Rice. So Brunas checks back into the game. That is Tasha Bruna, a senior. Bounce inside. Now Rice on the breakaway with the steal. Rice all the way down. She's fouled, layup, no good, but she's fouled hard. She'll go to the line to shoot 2. 5:58 left to go here in the second quarter, 11-8.
That was a foul on Bruna. That's, I think, Logan Bruna. It's her first.
So that's going to send Rice to the line to shoot 2. Good on the first one. Caitlin O'Brien comes out of the game with 2 fouls as Rice goes to the line for her second. 12-8, 4-point lead for the Indians. 5:58 left to go before halftime. Rice's second free throw off the rim, no good. Chased down by Doble. Doble pushes the ball forward. Boy, she traveled, got away with it. Now poked away by Rice. Hutcherson with it. Doble's the only one back. 2-on-1. Hutcherson all the way in. Layup blocked out of bounds by Doble. Good job by her going hard to the rim.
Well, that was a good job by Doble getting back there and shutting Hutcherson down.
As Indians basketball under their own rim, they lead 12-8, up by 4. Lob up to Winter, swatted away. Taken breakaway now by Zarbanicki. Layup no good, but it's going to be a foul on Coons.
I think she touched her. I didn't think she touched her.
Plain and simply missed it. And I have to agree with the fans behind me. Coons was chasing her, but I don't even think she touched her. Zarbanicki got a call there, and she's going to go to the line to shoot 2. Free throw on its way in there, and good. 12-9. Indians up by 3. Zarbanicki will shoot a second as O'Brien checks back into the game. A little offense-defense. Needs to be careful. Has 2 fouls. 5:40 left to go before halftime. Zarbanicki settles in at the line. Second free throw on its way. Off. No good. Watrick with the rebound. 16 foul on the Indians. 5 on Hanover. Rice wide open. Could have drove in. Now Hanover kind of goes into a 2-on-2 zone. So a little different look for Hanover. They're in a zone, so Indians readjust on offense. Good ball movement. Rice, pull-up shot, no good. Rebound, Hanover. Losey with the rebound. Losey pushes the ball down, picked up by the Indians, picked up by Rice. Now Bruno with it, feeds it up top to Doble, guarded by Hutcherson. Zarbanicki guarded by Watrick, feed out to Bruna. Bruna to Losey. Losey's guarded by Rice at the right wing position. Dribbles up top, feeds it back to Doble. Doble into the lane, swatted away by Watrick. Ball's loose on the floor, still loose, and he's going to call a jump ball. Thank goodness it's going to go to the Indians on the possession.
Yeah, that's a good job by Taylor Watrick. Those quick hands in there has really got Doble frustrated.
Doble had a break to the lane. Good job by Watrick, because that usually leads to a foul.
That's right.
With the help defense coming over. Watrick feeds it into Hutcherson. Now back to Watrick. Indians set against the zone. Now it's an extended like a 2-3 trap zone. Now they back off at the elbows. Hutcherson with the basketball. Dribbles up top, reverses it over to O'Brien. O'Brien up to Watrick, top of the key. Watrick looks, now tries to feed it inside to O'Brien. It's stolen away by Zarbanicki. Zarbanicki feeds it ahead to Doble. Lob inside, spin move. Kicks it back out. Losey with the three-pointer. Off, no good. Winter with the rebound.
The old inside-out play there is wide open.
Indians up by 3. 4:15 left to go here in the second quarter. Back to Rice, top of the key. She stands out by center court. Here's this extended 2-3 zone. Should be a little room at the elbows against this 2-3 zone. Right there at Winter at the elbow. Now feeds it back to O'Brien. Thought about the three, passed on it. Now she pulls up for about a 15-footer off the front rim. No good. Chased down by Doble. Only Winter back. Needs to set her feet. And she loses it. Should have been a travel. That should have been a travel. Now it's steal by Rice. Good job by the Indians.
Yeah.
Hanover with a couple gimmies
couple travels there.
Lob inside, poked away by Doble. No, not sure who that was poked away by. Now, number 4, Emma Bruna checks back in, a 5'8" sophomore for the Wildcats. Watrick with the basketball, feeds it to O'Brien. He's open for the three, but she passed on it. Cross-court pass over to Watrick. Lob inside to Winter. Spins inside, shot up, off the rim, no good. And that's going to be an over-the-back call on Emily Winter. 17th foul, and that's going to send Hanover the line, shoot the 1-and-1.
3:22 left in the half, so you have to be careful now.
Oh, excuse me. Now they have 16 fouls on each team. Excuse me. It
Yep,
is 16
right,
fouls on each. So the next foul on either team puts each team in the bonus. Doble with the basketball. And she's going to be blocked by Hutcherson. She's going to go to the line, shoot the 1-and-1. 9-12. Indians up by 3, but Doble's going to the line, shoot the front end of a 1-and-1. First foul on Emily Hutcherson. 7th team foul on Indians. 3:12 left to go in the first half. 12-9. Indians up by 3. Doble's first free throw is right through there and good. Indians not scoring here for a bit. A little sluggish against that zone. They're going to have to make some adjustments here. First time I've seen Hanover in a zone all tournament.
Yeah, Zobel's got 6 of Hanover's 11 points.
12-11. Indians up by 1. 3:09 left to go here in the second quarter. Watrick with the basketball. Feeds it over to Hutcherson at right wing. Back up top to Watrick. Over to Hutcherson. Thought about the three. She passed on it. Now feed inside to O'Brien. Ball fake. Splits it. Goes up. No good, but she's fouled. She'll go to the line to shoot 2. 2:51 left. Good move by O'Brien. Splitting the defense with the ball fake.
That foul's on Bruna. That's her second.
2 fouls on Juniman and 2 on Bruna. O'Brien, free throw rattles in there, good. Gives the Indians a 2-point lead. And speaking of which, Juniman checks back into the game for Bruna. O'Brien settles in for her second. It's on its way and right through there and good. 14-11, 3-point lead for the Indians. Losey with the basketball. Feed down to the corner. Juniman's just checked in the game. Somebody needs to pick her up. Now Doble inside. Layup. No good. Up in the air. Loose. Winter comes down with it.
Indians caught a break there. Clip took the shot. Yeah.
Missed it. Hutcherson with the basketball. Feeds it back to Rice. Hutcherson almost traveled with it. Bounce pass over to Watrick. Watrick with the ball fake. Feeds it over to Hutcherson. Look at the baseline. Rice wide open down there. Gives it up top to O'Brien. O'Brien feeds it over to Watrick. Watrick drives to the elbow, kicks it out to Rice. 3-point shot by her. Off the rim, no good. Doble with the rebound. 3-on-2 for the Wildcats. Feeds it out. Zarbanicki misses it. Hutcherson fights for it. Ball's loose. O'Brien fights for it. She's going to be fouled. She's going to go line, shoot the front end of a 1-and-1.
Yeah, and that foul's going to be on Juniman. I think that's
Juniman
her third.
or Doble. That is on Juniman. She's just picked up her third foul. As O'Brien will go line, shoot the front end of a 1-and-1. Zarbanicki was wide open. The Indians having a little trouble picking up on the change on the subs, Mike. A lot of subs coming in for the Wildcats.
Confused down their man.
And that left Zarbanicki wide open for a three-pointer. Hanover does a good job of pushing the ball up the floor. Coach Tucker, every time they get an offensive or defensive rebound, he's hollering for them to get back. So he watched enough film to know that they like to try to push the ball up the floor, and he wants his girls to get back. With only the 7-8 person rotation for the Indians, they haven't pressed very much this year, and they won't probably at all in this game. 15-11 as O'Brien made her first. Now a violation. As the lane violation apparently on the Indians. They lead by 4, 15-11, 2:03 left to go in the first half. Now they match up. Hutcherson still on Doble. Screen set up top by Bruna. Layup, no good. Gets her own. No, ball's loose, and now Watrick fights for it, and it's going to stay with Hanover.
Doble tried that Euro step that Caitlin O'Brien is so good at.
Hanover basketball under their own rim. Doble comes loose on the baseline. They feed into her. Ball fake into the lane. Shot up, no good. Fights for the rebound. O'Brien comes out there with it.
And Doble's the only shooter they have.
O'Brien slows it up. Top of the key, out to Hutcherson. Doble's a good ball player for the Wildcats. You can tell they rely on her, but so is Losey, and they're not scared to take a shot if they're open. Now down to the corner to Hutcherson. Indians up by 4, 15-11. Up top to O'Brien. O'Brien to the corner to Watrick. Ball fake, drives the baseline, kicks it out to O'Brien. Three-point shot on the way, off, no good. The rebounds, and they're going to call a foul on Watrick. And that's going to send number 30, Clip, to the line to shoot the 1-1. 19 foul on the Indians with 1:25 left to go, or 1:21 left to go here before halftime. Clip to the line to shoot the front end of a 1-1. 18 foul on the Indians, 8 on each team. 1:21 left to go before half. 15-11, Indians up by 4. Clip at the line to shoot the front end of a 1-1. It's on its way. Gets the rattle. One to call short so bad.
It wanted to be short too. It just got the wrong
soft
action on
rim.
the ball.
Let it roll over the top of the rim. So 15-12, 3-point lead. Second one on its way. Same thing. Gets the roll over the front of the rim. Boy, you know, these lane violations they call nowadays, Mike, it's off the release as Hanover comes to a full court press. Boy, it becomes real judgmental. Full court press by Hanover. Bounce pass over to Rice. Now they retreat. They do a man-to-man full court press, and they're still pressuring back into their man-to-man. Back over to O'Brien. Doble's on her. Dobles did a good job. Now Hutcherson right in front of the rim. Shot up, gets the goal. It's good.
That was a good move by Emily Hutcherson.
Zorbanicki with the basketball. Indians up 17-13, 58 seconds left to go. Losey with the ball. Cross court back up top. Bruna over to Doble. Doble passes on the 3, feeds back up top. Now over to Clip. Clip feeds it off the left wing to Losey, back up top to Bruna. Bruna back to Doble. Doble between the legs, goes in the lane, shot up, no good. Rebound fought for, and they're going to call a jump ball. Possession arrow stays with Hanover.
Yeah, we're lucky Doble's been pretty cold. She's 2 out of 6 from inside the 2-point range and 0 for 3 outside. She's been taking a lot of shots.
Good help defense that time by the Indians as she went into the lane. Feed up top to Doble. Nope, ball fake, drives in. Bounce pass out of bounds.
Out of bounds.
To the Indians. Pass was intended for Clip. It was a good idea as 3 Indians come to stop Doble. 31.7 seconds left. Indians up by 4, 17-13. Watrick with the basketball. Up by the top of key is Coach Tuck back into a man-to-man. Coach Tuck screams a play off to Rice. 17 seconds as Rice holds the ball out wide. Feeds it to Winter, top of the key. Now to O'Brien. Now to Watrick. Watrick open. Thought she was going to take a 3. Now back to Rice. 7 seconds left. Rice spins into the lane. Kicks it out. Watrick, 3-point shot on its way. Off the rim. No
short.
good. And that's another over-the-back call on the Indians. And that's a 9th team foul. That's going to send number 5, Losey, to the line, shoot a 1-1.
That's going to be on Emily Hutcherson. That's her second.
With a 10th of a second left in the first half, Losey goes to the line, shoot a 1-1 in a 17-13 game. McCracken comes to the scores table. Checks in for Emily Hutch, who's just picked up her second foul. 19 foul on the Indians. Losey at the line as Hanover clears the lane. Her first shot is on its way and in there and good. 17-14, 3-point game lead for the Indians right before halftime. Stick around for our St. Paul Tire and Lube halftime show. Losey's second free throw is right through there and good. As it's going to be halftime. Indians up by 2. Good guys up by 2 here at half in the state championship game. We'll be back after this 2-minute timeout. You're listening to St. Paul basketball on Hot 105. Welcome back as the Indians lead 17-15 here at halftime. Good first half, Mike, by the Lady Indians.
Yeah, just what you'd expect in the state championship game for all the marbles. Both teams out there playing their hearts out, doing the best they can, and really, playing pretty well each way, playing really good defense. Shooting was a little cold, and it still is just a little bit cold. Here we are with only 17-15 at half, only 8 points scored in the first quarter by each team, and so, the shooting is not where you would want it to be, but at the same time, both teams playing pretty good defense, and so that's got a lot to do with it as well.
Indians hanging right in there as led by minute 4, back and forth game. Indians has hung right with Hanover the whole time. I like the way they're playing, being aggressive off the ball, Mike, driving to the basket, getting some foul shots, in a little bit of foul trouble. We'll go over full first half stats here in just a little bit. In a little bit of foul trouble, but that's typical of the Indians man-to-man in their short roster.
Yeah, and I think the other thing is we'll look in the second half and see how it goes, but you come in here and it's against some team that you haven't played, that you don't know that much about, and so you spend that first half trying to get used to each other, and I think that's what we'll see. They'll come out at halftime, and the Lady Indians, they get settled in here. They know what Hanover's going to do. They're going to give it to number 20 and let her try to shoot it, so now they're going to be ready for that, and they've seen that they can stop her if they get the chance, so that's going to be the key in the second half.
We're going to take another 2-minute timeout. This timeout's going to be brought to you by St. Paul Supermarket. Our halftime sponsor, St. Paul Tire and Lube. We'll be back after this 2-minute timeout. You're listening to St. Paul basketball on Hot 105. Well, welcome back. You're listening to St. Paul Tire and Lube halftime show. Danville alongside Mike McCracken, where the Lady Indians lead 17-15 here in this state championship game at halftime.
Yeah, it's one of these things, Dan. You look down here, and I was just looking at the stat sheet, and you look at shooting percentages. Neither team shooting very well at all. St. Paul's only shooting 19% from the field, and Hanover not any better really at 21%, just a little better. Neither one of them really what you want to see out of your shooters. Hanover's not made a three-pointer. They've been 0 for 6 from outside the three-point line. St. Paul only made 1, and they've shot 9, so neither team able to come up with anything. That's going to be a key to the second half, who can start making baskets. And, if one team gets a little bit hot, that can really make a big difference as close as this game is.
Now, each team's had some pretty decent looks, but, Mike, it's also pretty good defense. You expect to see a little bit lower score in a state championship game because of defense. Both teams well coached, playing a good, most of the time. Hanover's played a little zone, playing a good man-to-man tight defense with a lot of help. St. Paul usually holds their opponents within reason, so if they can heat up from the shooting, but Hanover's no different. St. Paul would match up well, guard size, center size, kind of the same way, match up pretty well. So go ahead and go over scoring totals, Mike.
Yeah, pretty well-matched team. For St. Paul, the leading scorer, Caitlin O'Brien, who had 10 points in the first half. Sydney Rice had 3, and Emily Hutcherson had 2. So did Taylor Watrick. So not a lot of scoring other than Caitlin O'Brien in the first half. For Hanover, they were led by Dobley with 6. Losi had 4. Zarbanicki with 3, and Clip with 2 for Hanover. So not a lot of scoring by either team. And Caitlin O'Brien carrying the load for St. Paul. Dobley with 6. The scoring spread out a little more even, but she's carrying the load, taking the majority of the shots for Hanover. In the first quarter, both teams scored 8 points. Neither team scored over 10 points in either of the first 2 quarters, which is kind of interesting. So here we are at 17-15 at halftime. So not near as ugly a game as what we probably saw on Thursday night, where it was a low-scoring affair, as much as both teams playing so hard on defense with that man coverage and just not able to make a shot fall.
One thing that's not as ugly as the Indians with just 2 turnovers in that first half. That's big. Keep them turnovers down.
That's right.
They forced 7 out of Hanover, so good and bad. We would hope that the Indians would have a little bigger lead than that, forcing 7 turnovers with actually shooting more from the field than Hanover did. It's 21 attempts for the Indians, 19 for Hanover, but just a 2-point ball game. The difference is the free throw line. Not a whole lot of difference, so 8 for 12 for Hanover. They've been free throw line 12 times. Indians has been 10 times, and they've made 7. We're going to be back with the second half after this 30-second timeout. You're listening to St. Paul basketball on Hot 105. Here we go. That's halftime sponsor is brought to you, St. Paul Tire and Lube. That timeout brought to you by St. Paul Market. Half in the books, Mike, and what the Indians has figured out is they can play with Hanover.
That's right. They've definitely figured out that they are definitely not overmatched.
It will be Indians basketball to start this tip-off to the second half. Styles, Fitness, and more tip-off the second half as now they holler for a little bit of help for the Indians as full court pressure. Now Watrick falls down, and she tries to chase down. It's going to be a turnover on the Indians to start the second half as Watrick got tripped up and lost her footing. So it's going to be Hanover's basketball here under their own basket. Lob to Doble. Doble sets her feet, kicks it out. 3-point shot on the way, off, no good. Tipped out of bounds by Hanover, and it goes back. No. Yeah, it's going to go back to the Indians. As now a full court press applied by Hanover. Real full court press. They get it in. Now they kind of clear out as Rice with the basketball.
Need to go.
As Rice comes right past Hanover with the basketball. She's guarded by Zarbanicki. Watrick with the basketball. Juneman on her, playing with 3 fouls, I believe. Over the right wing to Hutcherson. They got a ref right in front of me. Watrick with the basketball, left wing. Now Indians right here on this end of the court, so maybe we can wheel a few shots to go in, Mike. You guide them, I'll call them on
it. A little mojo on them, see what we can do.
Lob inside to Winter, tough pass. It's going to go out of bounds off of her as Watrick tried to lob it into Emily Winter. It's all right. Keep your heads up. Indians still lead 17-15. Doble with the basketball.
Hanover we're going to come in here and try to shoot the threes, take the lead, get a little momentum.
Doble with it. Screen set. Now the switch. Back out to Doble, wide. Nope. Kicks it down to the corner. Three-point shot on the way, and there's one to Losey. Finally, they hit a three. First one of the game. They take a 1-point lead, 18-17. Watrick with the basketball. See if the Indians can answer here. 6:50 left to go here in the third quarter. Hanover up by one, 18-17. Rice with the basketball. Bounce pass over to Hutcherson, stole by Losey. Layup attempt, good. Timeout, Coach Tuck has 3-point lead for Hanover on back-to-back turnovers by the Indians. 30-second timeout, we'll go ahead and stay here. A better start the second half. 5 consecutive points for Hanover, none for the Indians as they look a little sluggish coming out of halftime here, Mike.
Well, yeah, they come out of halftime. I don't know exactly how to describe it, but Hanover came out definitely aiming to shoot the three as the first possession. They took a couple of three-point shots, weren't able to make them, went right back to it on the next possession and took the lead, got a little momentum. You could see the bounce in their step then. St. Paul didn't start out very well with Watrick falling down with committing the turnover in the inbounds play and just haven't been able to get things rolling here and a couple of different turnovers. So it's tripped up a little bit. Need to get back into their rhythm that they left at halftime with.
6:30 left to go in the third, 20-17. Hanover up by 3. Hutcherson with the basketball for the Lady Indians as full court man-to-man pressure is applied. Watrick with the ball in the corner, lobs it back to Hutcherson. Hutcherson right down the court she comes, have an advantage, 3-on-2, right on in there. No foul called. Oh my goodness, how could it not? Now, I was going to say it was late before he finally. So Hutcherson's going to go to the line to shoot 2. That could have been on Doble too, but it wasn't. It was on number 30, Clip, her second. Team foul number 1 on Hanover as Emily Hutcherson adjusts knee brace as she gets set to shoot 2.
I like to see her push that ball up the floor, though, through that press.
Don't be passive against that press. Get the ball down here as Hutcherson rattles off on the first one. 20-17, Hanover up by 3. Hutcherson settles in at the line for the second. On its way and good. Right. Another lane violation called on the Indians on Hutcherson. 20-17 score remains. 3-point lead for Hanover. Doble with the basketball. Doble crosses over against Hutcherson. Now give and go. Now poked away. Ball's loose. O'Brien comes out there with it. Feeds it back to Watrick. Watrick pushes the ball up the floor. Off the right side. Resets. Feeds it back to Hutcherson. Hutcherson at the top of the key. Drives inside all the way in. Shot up. No good. Rebound. Losey. Losey down with the basketball. Watrick picks her up. Feeds it over to Doble. Doble crosses over. Zarbanicki, and they're going to call a foul on. Zarbanicki went in there wild, out of control, and I believe it's going to be on Emily Winter. And Zarbanicki's going to go to the line to shoot 2. Coombs comes to the scores table as well as McCracken. 20-17, 3-point lead for Hanover. Zarbanicki at the line to shoot 2.
Second foul on Winter.
Shot up in there. 4-point lead for Hanover. As Winter comes out as well as Hutcherson. As Zarbanicki settles at the line for her second. Now a 4-point lead for Hanover. Indians yet to score here in the second half. 5:42 left to go in the second. In and out, no good. O'Brien, it could have been a foul on Doble. Boy, she gets a lot of no foul calls. O'Brien with the basketball against her. Down the baseline. Shot, wild shot up, no good. A lot of contact, no foul called. Feet ahead. Zarbanicki all the way in, layup good. Feed into O'Brien, 23-17, 6-point lead for Hanover. Rice with it. guarded by Doble. One team foul on each team. Indians still held scoreless here. Rice inside. And a steal by Hanover. Zarbanicki layup good. Lob into O'Brien. Timeout. Coach Tuck. Full timeout. We'll be back after this 1 minute timeout with St. Paul basketball. Hot 105. Welcome back, St. Paul basketball. That timeout brought to you by St. Paul Supermarket. Sydney Rice with the basketball. Indians trail by 8 all of a sudden with 4:49 left to go here in the third. Indians held scoreless so far in his third. Hanover into man-to-man. Watrick way up top of the key, feeds it over to McCracken at right wing. Couple ball fakes, feeds it up to Coombs. Now back to O'Brien. O'Brien, spin move, kicks it to the corner. Watrick inside, up to Coombs at the elbow. I thought I heard a whistle. Now Coombs inside, left, good. Good ball moved by the Lady Indians. Doble pushes the ball right back down, kicks it over to the corner. Zarbanicki inside, layup, good. That's how they like to push it down there, Mike. Indians got to get back on defense better than they are. O'Brien into the lane, all the way in, right in front of the rim. Oh, man, partially blocked, tons of contact, no call. And Hanover with the rebound. Zarbanicki, Watrick trails her all the way in. And it's going to be a moving screen on Hanover. As number 4, Emma Bruna was trying to clear the path for Zarbanicki.
Yeah, that's the third foul on Bruna.
St. Paul basketball, they trail 27-19. Trail by 8. Feed into Rice. Everybody pleading for Rice to go and be aggressive like Hanover is. Rice slows it down. She's guarded by Doble. Over to Watrick. Watrick into O'Brien. O'Brien into the lane. More contact. No call again. Doble with the rebound. Indians can't get a call. They're going to just let them bang away. Doble with the basketball. Lob inside. Tipped. Now there's a foul, so they get the call.
On, Katie Coombs, I believe.
I'm going to be a whiner here in a little bit.
That's all right, I think.
Number 4 is going to go to the line. Emma Bruna to shoot 2. 27-19, 8-point lead for Hanover. They look to extend this lead as they are the aggressor here so far in this third quarter. Bruna at the line. First free throw's off, no good. As Winter checks back into the ball game for Coombs, who's just picked up her third foul. Bruna, second free throw. Off, no good. Over the back. Holy cow, how do you not call that? Now they do call it. On who? That's going to be on.
They're called on St. Paul. That was over the back.
Oh, my gosh.
That's on Caitlin O'Brien.
That on Caitlin O'Brien.
That's her third foul.
Number 30 was over the top of her back, and she gets called. Doble inside for the layup. Good. That's a gimme bucket for Hanover off the horrible call. How do you call everything else and you don't call that? O'Brien with the basketball. 10-point lead for Hanover, 29-19. Rice against Doble. Spins, feeds it out to O'Brien. O'Brien needs to be aggressive here with clip on her. Feeds it off to Rice. Give it back to her. Rice with the basketball. Dribbles towards it in the free throw line. Pull-up shot, tough shot. out of bounds. That tip's going to stay with the Indians on the tip by Doble. As number 33 for Hanover checks into the game, Heineck. Indians basketball under their own rim. They trail by 10, 29-19 with 2:51 left to go in the third. Feed out to McCracken. McCracken dribbles towards the top of the key, spins, kicks it on the back feed to Winter. Winter out to Rice, three-point shot, short, off the rim, no good. Watrick with the rebound. Watrick back out to Rice, guarded by Doble, looks inside for McCracken. Bounce pass into McCracken, spin move, shot in front of the rim, no call again. We can't buy a call if we wanted to. Rebound clip, feed back. Now to three-point shot by Doble in there.
Well, it came down to who was going to get hot, and guess what? It wasn't St. Paul here out of coming into the second half.
30-second timeout, Coach Tuck, as he has to use another timeout, try to settle things down here. As the Indians now trail 32-19, as the Indians can't get a call here in the second half, as they've been aggressive going to the rim, and I've never seen so many blocked shots by a team.
No, that's right. They're not getting any calls, but at the same time, they're not making any baskets, and Hanover's making everything they're throwing up. So
third quarter stat sheet is going to show the free throw advantage to Hanover horribly this quarter so far. 32-19, Indians trail by 13 all of a sudden. Indians held to 2 points in this quarter. 2:09 left to go here in the third.
And the fouls are really close. It's 3-2, 3 for St. Paul and 2 for Hanover, but where the fouls are being called is just the difference. Or not called, I guess.
It may be 3-2. It should be 7-2.
Yeah, I know it.
That's my point.
That's what I'm saying.
Hanover only with 2 team fouls this half, and in my books, they've had about 6. Watrick with the basketball. 2:05 left to go here in the third. 32-19, Hanover leads. Hutcherson with the ball, feeds it up top to O'Brien. She needs to be aggressive here. As O'Brien picks up a dribble, hands it back to Rice. She's guarded by Doble. Crosses over, now picks up her dribble, feeds it over to Hutcherson. And now a foul, finally. And it's going to be on number 33, Heineck. St. Paul's basketball on the sideline. As Rice is going to have to come out of the game, and she's took a poke to the eye.
Finger in the eye, yeah.
As McCracken comes back in for her, gives Sydney a little break. Indians need to be patient here. Crawl back in this. One possession at a time. O'Brien with the basketball. Ball fake. Spin move in the middle. Tough shot. She's going to go line and shoot 2. Finally got a call.
Finally got a call. That's going to be the second on Heineck.
We need about 6 more in a row, ref.
Third on Heineck.
4th team foul. Back-to-back fouls. O'Brien settles into the line to shoot 2. First shot's on its way. Short.
St. Paul seemed to be tightened up again here in the third quarter. Now they were relaxed and looking pretty good.
Losey checks back into the game for Hanover. O'Brien settle in for her second. Not going to be able to miss free throws. Second free throw by O'Brien. Short. No good. Winter tips it around. Controlled by Hanover. Hanover's basketball. Doble with the ball. Feeds it out wide open. Another three-point shot. Zarbanicki in it. Nope. Got the bounce. That bounced around twice and fell through. So now all of a sudden Hanover heating up and the Indians can't make a basket or a free throw. Watrick with the basketball. Just 2 points in this quarter by the Indians. 1:20 left to go here in the third. A bad pass by her. Stolen away. They move ahead to Heineck. Now she feeds it to Losey. Knocked out of bounds. That's off of Losey. And it's going to go back to the Indians. 35-19. Now all of a sudden a 16-point lead for Hanover. They scored 21 in this quarter to the Indians 2. No, excuse me, that's not right. They scored 19 to the Indians. 18 to the Indians 2. Watrick with the basketball. Spin move inside. No good on the shot. Rebound Hanover. Not a real good shot by Taylor Watrick. Back down comes Bruno with the basketball. Feeds it back up top to Doble. Now over the corner to Losey. Sets her feet. Three-point shot. In and out. No good. Rebound Indians. O'Brien with it. Still 35-19. 45 seconds left to go here in the third. O'Brien with it. Crosses over. Inside. Spin move. Shot up. No good. Rebound Doble.
They get some rebounds,
Need
too.
a backside rebound. That's a travel. She doesn't get called for it. Now feeds the corner to Zarbanicki up to Losey. Losey resets. O'Brien on her. Up to Doble. Hutcherson on her. Doble. 18 seconds. 17 as they're going to set up a play. Here, Doble probably keep it right in her hand. Nope, she feeds it off. Now stolen by Watrick. 11, 10 seconds. She's rode all the way down. Layup, no good. No call. Feed all the way down, and now backdoor to Losey. Shot at the buzzer, good. So everything going Hanover's way. St. Paul can't get a call or a break as Watrick was rode like a horse all the way down the court. As the score at the end of 3 is 37-19. We'll be back after this 30-second timeout. You're listening to St. Paul basketball on Hot 105. Welcome back to Gross Coliseum in Hayes, Kansas, where Lady Indians has dug a big hole now, Mike. They trail 37-19.
Yeah, they're going to have a lot of work to do to come back in this fourth quarter, and they're going to have to really start heating up, getting some shots to fall, which just didn't happen in the third quarter. That was the difference. Hanover couldn't miss, and St. Paul couldn't get anything to make.
Not a lot of fouls called in that quarter, and that's the way it usually is in a championship game.
Yep.
Or when you get out here at the state, it always gets rougher. See if the Indians can kind of work one possession at a time, try to get back in this ball game. Hanover with the basketball. They really heated up in that third quarter, outscoring the Indians big time. Indians held only 2 points in that quarter.
They're going to be patient now, try to eat as much clock as they can.
Doble inside. She wallers her way down there, spin moving. Nope, she walked with the basketball. Is number 22, Zarbanicki, goes to the Indians. Still full court pressure applied by Hanover. Only 14 fouls on Hanover. Watrick with the basketball, pushes it up the floor all the way inside. Now feeds a Winter. Tough feed, misses it, fights for the rebound, and it's going to be a jump ball. And
Winter wasn't ready for the pass, I don't think.
It's going to stay with the Indians. Indians can't buy a bucket. St. Paul basketball under their own basket on the opposite side now. Lob inside to Winter. Winter feeds it to O'Brien. She ball fake go inside. Watrick ends up on the ground. Feed into Winter. Turnaround shot partially blocked by Doble out of bounds, and it's going to be off of Doble.
Doble's hitting her on the arm on the shot, not getting a call right in front of the referee.
Number 30 for Clip checks back in for Hanover. Watrick holds the ball, waiting for somebody to come open, feeds it into O'Brien. She goes into the center lane, shot off the backboard, good. And needs over on Doble. Watrick created that turnover. 37-21, 16-point lead for Hanover. Watrick with the ball under the Indians' own basket. See if they can get something going here offensively. Feed over the top to Rice, stolen away by Losey. Bad pass by Watrick, gives it right back to him. Losey backdoor feed to Doble, layup good. Indians just cannot afford to make those kind of mistakes. Full timeout by Hanover. We'll be back after this 1 minute timeout. You're listening to St. Paul basketball on Hot 105. St. Paul basketball coming out of that timeout. Timeout brought to you by St. Paul Supermarket. Rice with the basketball, feeds it over to Hutcherson. Indians need to be aggressive here. Hutcherson with the basketball. A couple ball fakes, and she's going to get, it's going to be called on Doble. As Hutcherson might have got off.
Yeah, let's give her a good
away
push.
With a little push off, but that's going to be on Doble.
Take it, that's only first foul on Doble.
15 foul on Hanover. St. Paul basketball on the sideline. Need to get some scores quick. Feed in. That's an over it. Yes. Yeah. I'm going to say it's an over the top call. That's going to be on Clip. We need to get the ball in and get Caitlin in on the post. She has a height advantage on Clip. Need to take advantage of that. Hutcherson bounce pass into Watrick. 6:42 left to go in the game. 39-21. Hanover up by 18. St. Paul dug a big hole in that third quarter, almost stolen away by Zarbanicki. Now Rice loses it. Ball's loose. Losi comes out. Nope. Juniman comes out there with it. I believe that was Bruna come out of there with it. Now Zarbanicki with the basketball. Back up top to Doble as Hanover is going to be content being patient on offensive here. Clip with the basketball, feeds it to the corner. Now inside to Doble. And it's going to be a foul over the top on the floor on the Indians. That's going to be the fourth team foul on the Indians. And that's going to be on Emily Winter. She just picked up her third on Emily Winter. Fourth team foul. Zarbanicki puts the ball in play. Back to her. Three-point shot on the way. Long, no good. O'Brien with the rebound. O'Brien pushes the ball up the floor. Gets around Clip. Bounce pass. Tough bounce pass off a Winter. And another turnover goes right back to Hanover. Coombs comes to the scores table for the Indians. Indians running out of time to cut into this lead. Just 6:01 left to go in the game. 39-21. Indians with just 4 points since halftime. Doble with the basketball as the turnover is starting to rack up against the Indians. Only 2 in the first half. Lob inside to Doble. She makes her way. Reverse layup, no good. Coombs with the rebound. Feeds it out to Watrick. Watrick pushes it up against Doble. Crosses over to the top of the key. Feeds it over to Hutcherson. Three-point shot by her. Off the rim, no good. Caitlin O'Brien saves it into Hutcherson. Hutcherson drives in, bounce pass out to Coombs. She goes into the basket, shot up, no good. She's going to go to the line to
That's going to be on Doble, I think. That'll be her second. Nope.
No, it's going to be on number 4. Emma Bruna.
It'll be her fourth.
And 17 foul on Hanover. Coombs, first free throw is good.
Might be against the rules, call foul on Doble. Okay.
39-22. Coombs at the line to shoot to second. On its way and good.
Katie perfect from the free throw line.
Doble, 23-39, 16-point lead for Hanover with 5:20 left to go in the game. Indians are going to really have to tighten up this man-to-man defense off of a score. Look, at some point, Indians are going to have to try to pressure full court, try to create some turnovers. Zarbanicki with the basketball. In a little trouble, feeds it back up to Doble. Hutcherson's going to have to tighten up on her, keep the ball out of her hands. She backs off of her as Doble dribble. There's a moving screen, no call. Clip ends up on the ground. Now Zarbanicki back to Doble. Doble into the lane, shot off, good.
Well, Doble's a good player. There's no doubt about it.
Feed into Watrick. Juniman back in the game. Feed ahead to O'Brien. O'Brien needs to be aggressive. Spin move into the lane. Shot up. Oh, now he calls a late charge on O'Brien. See, there's that rule again.
Yeah,
Mike.
that's what I said. I don't think you can call him on her. That's fourth foul on Caitlin O'Brien.
Fourth foul on O'Brien on the offensive charge. 41-23, 18-point lead for Hanover. Coach Tuck has no choice but to leave her into the game. 4:35 left to go in the game. 41-23. Indians down by 18. Feed off to the left wing. Watrick pokes it out of Losi's hands. She pushes off twice. And now they're going to get Watrick with a call as Losi created space on her own. Watrick still playing hard here. All the Indian girls. 4:24 left to go in the game. 41-23. Hanover leads. Losey with the basketball. Feeds it back to Doble. As Doble with the count on. Now Watrick comes to help. Now to Losey. They feed it right back to Doble. Doble with the ball fake against Watrick. As Hanover getting away with extending that left arm. That's going to be on Taylor Watrick. And is that 6th or 17th foul? Must be the 7th because Doble's going to go line shoot to 1-1.
7 on each.
Doble's free throw right through there. 19-point lead for the Wildcats of Hanover, looking to repeat as back-to-back state champs. Doble's second free throw is right up and through there.
Doble perfect from the free throw line too.
Feed ahead to Hutcherson. Hutcherson with the basketball. Backdoor feed to Coombs. Coombs ball fake into the lane in front of the rim. There's another blocked supposed shot by Doble. Hutcherson with the basketball. Rice with it. Lob inside to O'Brien. O'Brien, ball fake. Shot up, no good. No call again. Tons of contact. Put back good. Caitlin O'Brien continue to battle hard under there. Doble with the basketball. Traveled again. Yeah, she walked. Terrible. I agree with Coach Tuck.
Yeah.
Doble with the basketball. Dobles did that a couple times on a long down-court pass. He takes an extra step and gets away with it. Zarbanicki is going to be fouled going to the rim.
Rice, I think, is going to get that one for her second. No, I take that back. But
and that's Caitlin O'Brien.
That's her. That's it for her.
Game. So Emily Winter is going to check into the game for Caitlin. 43-25. 3:27 left to go in the game. 43-25 as Caitlin O'Brien is just fouled out of the game. Zarbanicki at the line to shoot 2. And this is the first. Caitlin with a heck of a senior year, Mike, and a heck of a career as an Indian.
Right.
And is likely going to finish with a state runner-up trophy here in this ball game unless the Indians can pull a miracle here. As number 24 checks back into the game for Hanover, Tasha Bruna. Indians basketball fed into Watrick. 44-25, 19-point lead for Hanover. Clip out to the corner to Coombs. 3-point shot off the rim, no good. Watrick with a tough rebound. Feed out to Rice. Rice crosses over into the lane. She goes. There's another foul on Bruna. Rice gets the bucket to go. I just don't understand it. 44-27. Timeout. Coach Tuck will be back after this 30-second timeout. You're St. Paul basketball on Hot 105. Welcome back to Gross Coliseum in Hays, Kansas in the state championship game where the Lady Indians trail 44-27 here with 3:08 left to go in the game.
Yeah, it's not out of the question, but the light's getting dim. They need to start playing some defense, causing some turnovers, and then quickly getting some points on the board, start taking some of these shots outside.
Third quarter has been the difference in this ball game.
It sure has.
Hanover just come out and shot lights out. The Indians only scored 2 points in that whole quarter.
Yep.
Hanover's basketball, and the Indians still not going to pressure full court here.
You know, that's been a tale of the season. When they're cold, they're just so cold. They just can't get anything to fall.
3:03. I don't want to take anything away from Doble. She's a very good
ball
player for Hanover, but Sydney Rice had a tough shot, a lot of body at the shot by Doble, and they still didn't call at it. They didn't have no trouble following our good senior Caitlin O'Brien out.
No, they didn't have any trouble finding out she couldn't touch anybody.
Bounce pass inside the clip. Now steal by the Indians. Hutcherson with the basketball. She pushes the ball up the floor. Doble's the only one back. Right in, shot up, and that's going to be on Doble. And we finally begged one out of them, Mike.
Yeah.
Emily Hutcherson being aggressive all the way to the rim, what we're going to have to be here. And that's just her second foul in the whole game. 18 foul
and
on
she's played
Hanover.
there. I don't think she's ever been out of the game, has she?
Our senior 22 is fouled out, but that's just a second foul on
Yeah.
Doble. You need to say that real loud, Mike.
Yep. I'll try that next time I get a chance.
Timeout Hanover. 2:36 left to go in the game, 44-27. We want to take this opportunity to stay here. And, Mike, we really need to thank all our sponsors throughout the year.
Bet.
They've really been special supporting the Lady Indians and the boys and all the athletics that they do. Our title sponsor is Farmers Bank. Pre-game sponsor all year long for football and basketball has been Richie's Pharmacy. Our kickoff sponsor, Styles and Fitness and more. Our timeout sponsor has always been St. Paul's Supermarket for all your grocery needs. Go to St. Paul Market. Halftime sponsor is St. Paul Tire and Lube. Our post-game sponsor, KW Trucking. Player of the game sponsor is Derailed Commodity. We'll have to start thinking about that for the Indians here in the last game of the season. And we want to thank everybody. Past the first year, we started live streaming. Unable to live stream this game because of Acacia has, another sports company has the rights to the semifinal and the finals. We want to thank Westhoff Interiors and CD Electric for sponsoring the sub-state games and the state game, opening round state game, Mike. Hutcherson makes her free throws, 44-28, 16-point lead. And that's going to be a foul on Winter, and that's going to send
4 fouls on Winter.
Zarbanicki to the line, shoot a 1-1. 19 foul on the Indians. Fourth foul on her, 44-28. Zarbanicki at the line to shoot front end 1-1. It's on its way and right through there. 45-28, 2:28 left to go in the game. For the most part, Hanover pretty young too, Mike. Just a junior is Doble. Lose number 5.
They're going to be alone for a while.
A sophomore.
Yeah.
Emma Bruna is just a sophomore. McKenna Juneman. So 4 of their 5 starters is sophomores and juniors. Winner, backside feed to Wadrick out on Hanover to stay with the Indians. Just 3 seniors on the roster for Hanover. Same for St. Paul. Winter with the basketball. Over to Hutcherson. Hutcherson crosses over a couple times, kicks it out to Wadrick. Wadrick drives, crosses over. Spin move inside, shot up short, no good. Doble with the rebound. Wadrick tries to poke it away, feeds it to Luce, back to Doble. 1:59 left to go in the game, 46-28. Doble with a couple ball fakes up above the timeline. Kicks it off to Zarbanicki. Doble with it. Screen set by Clip. She ends up on the floor. Now over to Zarbanicki. Zarbanicki feeds it back to Doble. With 1:33 left to go in the game. Screen set by Clip. Back to Doble. Doble over to Zarbanicki. Zarbanicki, now Winner. Now almost a steal by Rice. Feeds it back to Doble. 1:15 left to go in the game. Back to Zarbanicki as Hanover doing a good job moving the basketball around with the lead, 46-28. 1:08 as
that's it for Winter.
Checked out of or fouled out of the game. That's the 5th foul on Emily Winter. Great high school career for her as well. We need to give her a great big hand as a senior.
Yep.
A great senior, nothing to be ashamed of. We're very proud of all the girls, and Sydney Rice also comes into the game.
Too.
No,
good job by all the girls.
There'll be some tears shed, but they shouldn't shed them. They set history here today.
That's
First
right.
time in girls' history they've ever been here. Sets the bar pretty high for somebody to get back. And Mike, I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to be hard to get back to this point because next year the format
switch
changes.
things up, yep.
And they just go to one division and back to a regional and sub-state state format where 2 advance to sub-state out of regionals, and they'll go to opposite directions like they used to, like El Dorado and Emporia. And that's going to make that sub-state very, very competitive to get to this point with just one division. Hutcherson misses a 3-point shot. Doble with the rebound. Seems like about her 25th of the ball game. Doble crosses over against Hutcherson. Hutcherson still playing good defense. Count should be on. Up to Zarba Nicky. Katie Carter in the game. She's logged some good minutes for the Indians this year. And that's going to be a backcourt on Doble with 30.9 seconds left to go in the game as Hanover clears his bench.
Yeah, got to give a lot of credit to Doble. She's a really good player.
As Hanover is going to repeat as state champions here today with 30.9 seconds left. They lead by 20 with 31 seconds. They got a good program at Hanover as their boys is going to try to win the boys 1A state title following this bowl game. Stick around for our post-game show brought to you by KW Trucking and our player of the game brought to you by KW Trucking. Durell Commodity, excuse me. Been a good season, Mike.
It's been a lot of fun. It's been fun watching these kids, the boys and the girls. Girls making it all the way here as far as they could. There's only 2 teams left playing basketball today in 1A girls, and we're one of them, so absolutely nothing to be ashamed of about that. Got in here and fought it out and really put on a show in the first half. Just couldn't make things work for them in the third quarter is what really, when the wheels came off, and weren't able to recover from that, but they've had a great run this year for sure.
Ireland Foley into the game for the first time tonight, the young freshman. As the Indians look to try to reload, they lose 3 big scorers, Emily Winter, Sydney Rice, and Caitlin O'Brien. So Indians are going to have to find some offense next year. Got some good young talent, sophomore, junior class coming up. Freshman, sophomore, and junior class, as well as the 8th grade moving up. So they're going to try to reload as Coach Burke runs that girls junior high program, does a good job out there, and Sydney Rice fouls at half court with 15 seconds left to go in the game.
Sydney McCracken at the foul.
15.6 left to go, 48-28, 20-point lead. 10th team foul on the Lady Indians as Taylor Wattrick comes back to scores table. Shot on its way and rolls off. That shot put up by Stollenbaumer as McCracken comes out of the game. 15.6 seconds, 48-20. As Stollenbaumer set to shoot second free throw. It's on its way and off, no good. Coons feeds it off to Hutcherson. 3 for sophomores. Here's a part of the future for the Indians. Hutcherson 3-point shot.
Oh, got it stuck in the
up in the rim with 7.9 seconds left to go in the ball game.
And I don't think that counts, but it's neat to see.
Now, well, it's a jump ball is what it's going to be. It's going to be Hanover's basketball. And now it falls out as basketball and boys players and everybody comes down to try to help out. So it'll stay, it's going to go back to Hanover with 7.9 seconds left. St. Paul is going to be the runner-up. 2 second-place trophies this year in state, 1 in football and 1 in basketball. As they dribble the basketball out, and Hanover repeats as state champions, and St. Paul is going to be your second-place team in state. We'll be back with your post-game show after this 1-minute timeout with St. Paul basketball on Hot 105. I don't think we got nobody behind us, so we'll.
Okay.
Welcome back to Gross Coliseum. St. Paul Lady Indians are going to be your state runner-up this year here in 1A basketball. You're welcome to our KW post-game show. So St. Paul will have medals and a big trophy to take home to put in the case. Quite an honor. Number 11, Taylor Watrick, as Coach Tuck gives her a hug, puts a medal around her neck. Sydney McCracken, the young junior, have to step up, going to be one of the lone seniors or lone junior on the team. Emily Hutcherson, a sophomore, gets a medal around her neck. Sydney Rice, one of the big senior leaders, very proud of her. She played hard all year long, Mike.
Yeah, they had a good all-around year. A lot of the girls, they all played their hearts out. And it's tough to lose, even though you're here in the state championship.
It's always tough to lose. Ireland Foley, the young freshman. Katie Carter looks to be a big piece of the puzzle next year.
She does, yeah. I think there's some good things to come.
Shot
for St.
well
Paul.
From the outside. Kaylin O'Brien, senior year, Miss 1,000. What did she end up with tonight?
Yeah, we'll tell you here in just a minute. I get them totaled up.
Okay, but he's going to just hold us in suspense.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to make you hang on for just a minute.
You're going to wait till they hand you that paper.
Yes, I am. You ratted me out, but that's all right.
Katie Coombs gets a medal around her neck. And I think I missed Emily Winter. Great senior leader. All good kids. They're going to really miss the 3 seniors.
Yeah.
On this St. Paul team. So give everybody a hand. Mr. Doug Tuck and the St. Paul Indians in your state runner-up. As he goes out with the coach, takes the picture. As everybody tries to get a smile on their face here. A little disappointed.
But
they was in that game for a long time. But on the same token, they played hard, Mike. They come out and played to win.
Yeah, they sure
just
did.
Couldn't get a shot to go in that third quarter, and Hanover really lit it up.
Yeah, Caitlin O'Brien ended up with 14 points on the night, so add that to her previous 16 that she had coming into this game. So what's that, 20?
Just to show you, Hanover was shooting 21% from the field, and they finished the game at 44%.
Yeah,
so that means they shot about 70% in that third and fourth quarter.
Yeah, they were definitely on in the second half. Well, no, it's all right. I was going to say they were definitely on that second half. That was the difference. And kind of called it at halftime that whoever came out here and was able to make things happen and make some baskets, and Hanover made it happen, and St. Paul just couldn't get anything to go. That third quarter was just a killer for them. They couldn't recover from it.
Dolbecki and Zarbanicki both had a great game. Zarbanicki is a senior, Zarbanicki is a senior.
Yeah, Doble ended up with 19.
19 points. She plays well. She's a good ball player as a young junior, so she's going to be a big piece of their puzzle next year. But let's talk about our St. Paul Indians here, Mike, as we wrap things up. We're going to try to get Coach Tuck on here. We don't have anybody coming in behind us, I don't think, so we're going to try to get Coach Tuck in here for our post-game show.
I'll run down the totals real quick, Dan. Caitlin O'Brien ended up with 14 on the night for St. Paul. Sydney Rice with 5. Katie Coombs had 4 points for St. Paul. Emily Hutcherson with 3. And Taylor Watrick with 2 for the Lady Indians. They shot overall 18% was all they shot. They were 8 of 44. Really couldn't make anything fall. 1 out of 15 from outside the three-point line. So got Coach Tuck on with us now. We're going to talk to him for just a minute. Coach Tuck, I know it's coming right out of the game here. It's kind of disappointing, but still here we are. It's number 2 in the state, so I think it was a successful season.
Yeah, it was. I don't think too many people thought we'd get this far, but we had a belief in these girls that if they could play the way they were capable and do it on a consistent basis, that they could play with anybody in the state. So, we did that for a half in this game, and we told the girls that Hanover was going to come out and make a push at the beginning of the third, and that's what they did, and that's why they're the 2-time state champions.
That's right, and that's kind of what we talked about at halftime too, is whoever came out in the second half and could start making some shots, and they were able to do that. We're struggling with that, especially that third quarter really was the killer.
Yeah, it was, and then once they kind of made a run, then we didn't handle it well, and we started kind of fighting with each other and arguing, and again, that's the experience, for not having been here and been this deep, at least in a couple of years. So, that's why you keep coming. So
that's
you
right.
get those experiences, then you know how to handle those situations.
Yeah.
And we just couldn't stop their momentum there when we needed to.
Still overall big success, huge successful season, number 2 in the state. So congratulations to you and the girls, and we're glad that we were able to come along with you.
Well, we appreciate the support, and we'll take a big trophy home.
That's right.
We wanted the bigger one, but we'll take this one.
That's right. So
thanks, guys.
Thanks, Coach. So we'll get Dan back on here and wrap things up, where St. Paul comes on the short end, but still number 2 in the state, where they drop one to Hanover by a final score of 48-28. Dan, as we wrap things up here for the season.
Mike, did you have derail commodity player of the game yet?
Derail commodity player of the game going to have to be senior Caitlin O'Brien as she finishes out a wonderful career here at St. Paul.
I agree 100%. Very proud of these three seniors. As they post for some pictures, there are going to be some smiles going home. A little disappointed, but the same token, they set some history here today as they get to the state championship game. They just fall a little bit short. So all you youngsters out there, they set the goal pretty high. You're going to have to see if the Lady Indians and boys can work their way back here to a state championship someday. You never know when it's your first or your last, so keep working hard out there. As Mike, it's been a lot of fun this year, buddy.
Really enjoyed it. Had a good time. We'll see what next year holds, but so far, successful year this year.
I want to thank Marissa back in the studio, keeping us on the air all year long, back in the studio. I want to thank everybody for listening on the live stream. Join us next year as we will kick off football season, Mike. As we join us next year, St. Paul Lady Indians come up a little bit short here today, but come up second place in the state championship game in Class 1, Division 1 here at Hayes, Kansas. Once again, thanks all our sponsors out there. You've been listening to St. Paul basketball on Hot 105.